Okay, so do you see where there's room for improvement? Okay. So not only are survivors recanting out of fear of retaliation because of our lack of conviction, there's victim blaming, there's inadequate investigations because there's not any investigations properly at all because there's not enough money in the budget, or law enforcements are just too busy. There's not enough manpower. Do you see why people are not so forthcoming with rape or any other sexual assault? Because I imagine, I know internally for me, I would say, what's the point? What's the point? If I'm not going to get a conviction and justice is not going to be served, then why do I need to be forthcoming with the information? If you're not going to help with my healing and your actions are only going to feed my hurt, what's the point? So there's room for improvement. And I know you might be wondering how this all ties into drugs and and how the weight of sexual crimes compares. And I'm gonna get ready to bring it full circle for you. So during my research, according to findlaw.com, a cocaine conviction, okay, is automatically a Class A, Class B felony, which is as high as it can go. The fine itself for being convicted of having cocaine or being arrested with cocaine, or whether it's just possession or the intent to sell, is automatically a $200,000 to a $500,000 fine and up to 60 years in prison. 60 years in prison for being caught with cocaine. But yet, we're overturning rape convictions and we're slapping young boys on the hand for holding down a peer and recording the assault against her. We're slapping them on the hand, but yet we're giving somebody 60 years in prison for having cocaine. Now, we can go as far as to talk about methamphetamine, which is very popular for this area. A certain state rep, whose name I will not give, informed me during my last semester at school that if somebody is caught with methamphetamine, it's automatically 25 years. They can choose to reduce their sentencing by agreeing to go to rehab, but it's automatically 25 years. Do you see where there's a need for improvement? So why the steep? Why the difference? Okay. Why is it that drugs hold a higher weight than an attack on someone's life? Why is that? And I get that there's the greater good, and I get that drugs claim lives, but we fail to realize the trauma that is caused by sexual assault. We fail to realize how it alters the victims' lives. Not only their lives, but also their families. We fail to realize the eternal emotional turmoil that they have to endure. And so I would say this, is that yes, drugs and alcohol. Drugs, they claim lives, okay? A lot of times, someone who has experienced trauma will thus turn to, unless they have someone that is there to help them heal and understand and grow from their experience, unless they have someone there to help them with that. But a lot of times, those who have experienced traumatic events in their life often turn to drugs and to alcohol and to suicide. And we fail to realize that. So we fail to realize how the laws, or the lack thereof, surrounding sexual crimes lead to the recanting. They lead to the victim blaming. They lead to the inadequate investigations. And they lead to the drugs. We fail to realize how all of that blends in together and how there is room for improvement. And how, I hear my kid coming, and how there's room for improvement. And so I beg you, for those of you that are listening, to write to your congressman, write to your state. Those of you that have the power to change laws, I beg of you, there is room for improvement. We have got to fix this, because we are sending the message that their life doesn't matter. What happened to them doesn't matter. And so I want you, for my lawmakers, to think for a moment, if it was your mother or your brother or your sister or your wife or your daughter or whoever, someone that is very close to you, very valuable to you, if it was them who have experienced a sexual assault against them, and the courts pretty much just slapped them in the face and slapped the perpetrator on the hand, how would you feel? Okay? Put yourself in the shoes of the victims and of their families and see that there is room for improvement. Okay? We have to improve. We are all about growth. As human beings, we're about growth and adapting and change, and it's wonderful. So put yourself in their shoes. See that there is room for growth. And together, let's make a change. Their lives, our lives, matter.